Hello, everyone. It is lovely to be back, and welcome back to the Financial and Lifestyle Freedom Podcast with me, Annette Ferguson. I hope you have had a lovely week. Here we have had Halloween, which means my children stocking up on sugar and reacting as if they don't get sweets any other time of the year. But of course, they do. So it is very funny times in my household. I hope you've had a wonderful week as well. In this week's episode of the podcast, we are speaking about financial mistakes small business owners make and how to avoid them. We're going to cover cash flow issues, underpricing, budgeting, mixing personal and business finances, and tax mistakes that can lead to real problems. And you're not alone if you have made some of these mistakes. The key is learning from them and taking steps to fix them. So let's dive into the topic financial mistakes and how you can set your business up for longer term success. First up is cash flow management. Cash flow is, of course, as you have heard, I am sure, many times, the lifeblood of your business. Many small business owners focus on sales and revenue growth, and some will look at profit, but cash flow is ultimately what determines whether you can actually keep the lights on in your business and pay your bills. The common mistake, not having a cash flow forecast, or as we like to call, a profit plan. A lot of business owners don't track how much cash is coming in and going out, which leads to running out of cash when you least expect it. And the solution is simple, creating a cash flow forecast for at least the next 6 months. It helps you prepare for leaner periods and ensures that you always have enough to cover expenses. Now, I am such a big fan of cash flow forecasting that I have actually written a book on this. It is called The Profit Plan. You can get it as a Kindle book on Amazon. It is 77 pence. It is not expensive at all. If you want to learn more about cash flow forecasting, the link for that will be in the show notes as well. And another common mistake that we often see is people mixing their personal and business finances. This can be seen especially when people are sole traders and there is no legal requirement to keep those two things separate. But mixing personal and business can often lead to confusion and really make it hard to get a clear picture of how your business really is performing. So I highly recommend keeping your business finances and your personal finances separate, having separate bank accounts and treating them as separate things so that you can get greater clarity on the numbers in your business. Next, let's talk about underpricing. This is a trap that so many small business owners fall into. You might think that keeping your prices low will attract more customers or clients, but in reality, you can often be leaving money on the table. And the mistake really comes when people price based on cost rather than on value. You should ideally be pricing all your products and services based on the value you provide and not just on how much it costs to deliver them. Of course, you need to take costs into account to make sure you are not loss making, but the pricing really does need to be based on value. If you're undercharging, you're not only hurting your profit margins, but you can also be signaling to your clients that your service isn't worth that much, and therefore they can have a lower view of your products or services. The fix here is to raise your prices with confidence. Your customers are often willing to pay more if they see the value that you provide. A value-based pricing model will help you align your prices with what services are truly worth. Another big mistake is not having a budget. This is quite closely tied into cash flow forecasting, and you can kind of do the same, both of these at the same time. But it is shocking how many small business owners operate without a budget at all. And a budget is more than a tool to limit spending. It's ultimately a roadmap that helps you make informed decisions along with your cash flow forecast. Because the mistake here is focusing only on short term expenses and not planning for larger long term costs like equipment upgrades, tax payments, or marketing initiatives. Without a budget, it is easy to overspend on one area and leave yourself short on another. So, the solution is creating a budget that accounts for both your day to day expenses and your longer term business and financial goals, updating it regularly to make sure that you can stay on track. Finally, let's talk about tax. No one likes dealing with tax, but failing to plan for tax payments can lead to serious problems in your business. The mistake is often not setting aside money for tax throughout the year. If you're not putting money aside regularly, you can end up with a huge tax bill at the end of the year and not be prepared for it. This can cause unnecessary stress and also debt. The solution is to set aside a percentage of your revenue each and every month, specifically for the taxes that you and your business have. If taxes aren't your strong suit, then look at hiring a professional to help you stay compliant and take advantage of any deductions that you might be missing. So, those are our top financial mistakes for small business owners, and importantly, how you can think about avoiding them, whether it's managing cash flow, pricing your services correctly, or staying on top of taxes. These small changes can have a big impact on your financial health. To help you take action as well, I have created a financial mistakes prevention toolkit. It includes cash flow management checklist, pricing strategy guide, and a budgeting template to help you get started. The link to download that is in the show notes. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you have found this episode of the podcast useful. If you do enjoy what we share, I would love if you want to subscribe in whichever podcast player you happen to be listening in. Please also do make sure that you leave us a review. It helps other business owners find the podcast as well. And I will look forward to speaking to you all really soon. Take care, everyone.